Everything that we read every day has nothing to do with 1310. Does this international global system have anything to do with 1310? Does the complete overhaul, change, blood transfusion of the banking system, the monetary performance system of Iraq, completely changed? Do you think they didn't change the 1310? Exclusive, 5 Iraqi banks to be banned from US dollar transactions, so it's not 15 banks, only 5 from engaging in US dollars. These are the CBI restrictions and not US sanctions imposed on the banks in Iraq. I repeat, not US sanctions. Many of these Iraqi news media outlets love to exaggerate, and tell you these are US sanctions. This is called fake news. Yes, even in Iraq. Iraq is international without a doubt. The problem is they have not released the reason why you are international yet. That will be a new exchange rate with a new denomination of currencies called the lower notes. Iraq moves towards globalization. Implementation of international accounting standards begins in 2026. Inches Reform Committee announced 22% growth in tax revenues, with revenues reaching 4 trillion dinars. Why is that important? Remember, Iraq's valuation is based off of oil. That's not true. There's non-oil and there's tax revenues, now. That valuation at $3.22 for the dinar back a long time ago was based off only oil. Now they have non-oil. They have growth. There's not even talking about gas. Iraq has a massive amount of revenue streams. Keep that in mind when it comes to the valuation, a real effective exchange rate. Because they're going to be able to use real fundamentals. Take it seriously, this is for real. It's going to be big money and it's going to have a global impact. Is there a new USDN? No new US currency called USDN has been officially announced by the US Department of the Treasury. A new US currency, USDN, has been debunked as a false claim. Seriously, this has been a roller coaster ride and none of us are in need of more dinar mythology. There are no redemption centers, no 800 numbers, no notifications, no USDN, no contract rates, no bank is coming to your house to exchange your currency, no $75 IQD, no $2 VND, no 6,000 redemption centers, and no bonds. Get a grip. This will be a no fanfare, no crowds, no public announcement, quiet event. Calm down and don't fall for this foolishness. The RV will not be televised. I love the fact that Saleh is constantly coming out every day to talk to you Iraqi citizens about the success of their banking and monetary reform education. This time he tells the Iraqi citizens that your banking reform is going through a major change. I call it a paradigm shift. It is tremendous what is going on. You're not just a financial hub. There are so many ways he can tell you Iraqi citizens that there is a new exchange rate coming, but the evidence is all around you. Emo, every day there's an announcement on your television in order to soften the shock of what is soon to be announced, a new exchange rate. Reports More Reform Committee announces 22% growth in tax revenues, with revenues reaching 4 trillion dinars. The Trump administration is pressuring Iraq. Iraq is bracing for a possible increase in US sanctions. Article: Trump pressuring Iraq to restart Kurdish oil exports via Turkey or face sanctions. The Trump administration during the past 2 weeks has sent Iraq direct messages to dismantle armed factions. The number of sanctioned banks reached 28 out of 44 banks operating in Iraq. The Trump administration is putting pressure on Iraq to dismantle, disarm and disconnect from Iran on all levels. Trump gives Baghdad a choice: export Kurdistan's oil or face sanctions like Iran. There is a plan and there is a way to get the oil flowing. This tells us there's clear pressure on Iraq to stay the course. This news is somewhat intense. It suggests power players are making sure Iraq stays on board with her reforms. I suspect this pressure is going to be used to keep Iraq on track and get this going. The heat is up and I like it. It's good. There's an economic expert on the television. He's asking us Iraq citizens some questions regarding the exchange rate of our currency. He went on for 20 minutes talking about the pros and cons of what we're about to do, and he reminded us that at one time the dinar was $3.30. Then we see new information commercials talking about the new national bonds. Mr. Sammy says this is another way to get the citizens to bring in their 30 notes that many are hoarding in their homes. Frank, they are pushing the idea to buy the bonds. They use their 30 notes. The push to bring in as many 30 notes as possible is also another loud indicator of a change that's coming. Some more good news is that issue 4814 of the Iraqi Gazette was published on the 17th of February 2025. It included Law No. 4 of 2025 First Amendment to the Federal General Budget Law of the Republic of Iraq for the fiscal years 2023 to 2024-2025, No. 13 of 2023. Also, they just told us the budget will not yet be open as there are technical issues yet to resolve with the Kurds. Like I told everyone that the RV rate will not ever be in the budget, the law is passed and in the Gazette and still no RV. I assure you with 1000% certainty that this event is not going to trigger the RV. The new dinar rate was not in the Gazette today, Saturday. The CBI has been showing some different rates lately. It even went to 1,322 in the wee hours. But it is not staying there. There is a lot pointing to the fact they are working on it, but not a lot pointing to us going to the banks on Monday. The US dollar exchange rates witnessed a decline today, Monday, in the markets of the capital, Baghdad, and in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region, with the opening of the main stock exchange in the country, as the dollar prices decreased in the Al-Khifa and Al-Harithia stock exchanges to record 149.350 dinars for every $100, while yesterday morning, Sunday, it recorded 149.900 dinars for every $100. As for the selling prices in the exchange shops in the local markets in Baghdad, they decreased, as the selling price reached 150,500 dinars for every $100, while the purchase price reached 148,500 dinars for every $100. In Erbil, the dollar also declined, with the selling price in exchange shops reaching 149,200 dinars per $100, while the buying price reached 149,200 dinars per $100. The results of the general population census in Iraq raised a dangerous indicator according to the Parliamentary Agriculture, Water and Marshlands Committee and experts in agriculture and economics, who called for the necessity of developing a national strategy and adopting balanced government policies and a serious stance based on correct scientific foundations to address them. The Iraqi Ministry of Planning announced today, Monday, the basic results of the general population census, which showed that the country's population is 46,118,000 people, while the population is distributed according to the environment as 70.17% in urban areas and 29.83% in rural areas in Iraq, and 84.57% in urban areas and 15.43% in rural areas in the Kurdistan region. Rural about 30% member of the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Water, and Marshes,